Alrighty. Oh man, this is gonna be hard.
You and me both.
Welcome to another episode of Hotline Hangout. My name is Shane, and I am your host today, and we are joined by a good pal, a good friend, James.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal. And then we have Mr. Stephen Murphy over here on the coffee.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I know it's been a while. Look at this. We hit puberty.
Steve hit puberty.
Look at this facial hair.
Oh man. Yeah, it's been a while, and we moved, and we have a new setup, and hope you like it. It's weird now. Got to look at the camera instead of Steve.
You're stuck with it?
Anyways, it's been a while, and so how you boys been?
Oh, I've been quite busy, keeping active, staying true to myself. You know what I have to do. But yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's felt like a while.
Has it actually just felt like a while, or has it actually been a while?
A little bit of both.
James, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a new job.
Yeah, gotcha. What's your job?
Pretty much a glorified copier.
Do you have to wear pants?
Sweatpants, but
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So are they paying you a little bit more than 25 cents?
I'm getting 18 an hour with paid lunches.
Paid lunches. Wow, that's a feature.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
And I'm starting right before Christmas.
Talking
And-
to your mic.
Don't talk to us.
I
Talk
can't
to
hear
the
you.
mic.
But I don't like my mic. But anyways, my new job is paying for a holiday also on the 27th, which
Yeah.
is nice. So I'm getting like an extra day of holiday
You
pay.
just get your own personal holiday.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been doing well. Thank you for asking.
Oh yeah.
No
Yeah,
one
you-
cared. The audience didn't care. We didn't care. No one cared how you were doing, Shane.
What's new with you, Mr. Shane?
Well, I hired James to build a table for me. And it didn't fall over.
Oh my
Best
God.
table he ever has.
Yeah, he felt a lot of pride in it because he built it himself. But,
My own bare hands.
his bare hands.
It was so funny when he ran to the washroom. I actually just grabbed the screwdriver just to make sure that everything
Was tight.
everything was tight.
That's fucking awesome.
Like I had to refasten everything for him.
Just put it all together for him. James is a sugar packet kind of guy. Just put a pack of sugar in
He
it.
just throws money at his problems.
It'd be so weird. Imagine you ever used a sugar packet to level out a table, and then you went to use that sugar packet later, and it was just powdered sugar.
Just because of the compression.
Pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wonder
that's
how
funny.
that would work. I've never done that before, but whatever.
Oh,
Anyways,
I was gonna say I think it's the same concept when you use peanut butter and you put it in a compressor and you come out with diamonds.
oh yeah, diamond.
Yeah, the carbon. Yeah,
Peanut butter diamonds.
that's right.
I know what you're talking
They were
about.
worthless.
How's your magic?
Pretty good. I'm not doing I got to a point right now, at least in
He's just coasting on his good fortune.
the one thing once whatever kind of thing you do good at, I think there's a point where you realize everyone's bad at it and you're bad at it. I think that's where I'm at right now. I feel
Nobody
like
knows how to play magic.
yes, that's the key. No one knows how to do anything.
$10,000
realizing that you have a lot more to learn and you're not as good as you think you are. So that's where I'm at right now. At least in my
Well, that's a fair assessment. I don't think you're as good as you think you are either.
fair. That's fine.
True. I seen him play.
You didn't.
No, I just mean in general, not at. I'm not talking about magic. But whatever. Oh man, chocolate rain. Yeah, I gotta move away now.
Yeah.
Instead of moving closer.
So, how does it feel to be back, boys?
Oh, it feels good. There's a huge mess in my living room, but
Per usual.
we'll figure it out.
Don't worry. I'll supervise again. I'll watch random videos.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was that boy's name you were watching actually?
Pro ZD. I wasted an hour today watching him eat Lunchables, Pringles, and Oreos.
Yeah. So,
And it was an hour well spent.
and you said it was.
It was entertaining to listen to, except for when we were doing the sound check. But whatever.
You said it was Pro ZD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber. So basically, what he does is a series of edibles and snacks.
Oh, edibles.
So what he does was with the Pringles that James was recently talking about, he got I think like a variety of like 10, 15 different styles of Pringles, and he's munching on like half a can.
What are you
or
calling
so.
them?
What, Pringles?
Pringos? Are you hearing that too?
Yeah, kind of.
Pringles, whatever. And so he just kind of describes and talks about the flavor and everything that comes along with it. Then he did the same thing with like Lunchables, and what was the third one he did?
Oreos.
Oh, Oreos.
The Lunchables one was the best because he was like snack pizzas or whatever. What is he calling them?
Snack cakes or
Yeah,
something like that.
snack
Yeah.
Snack pizzas. Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was just like, yeah, I remember. Because now they do that at restaurants too,
Yeah.
right? You go to order a pizza and they're like, do you want dessert? They pull out the dessert menu
Yeah.
and it's just like
A dessert pizza.
Nutella pizza. And
Yeah.
it's like, man,
Oh.
you're literally just going to put Nutella. Like, what kind of toppings go on that?
Do you guys even like Nutella at all?
No, I think
Oh, I
it's
fucking love
overrated.
Nutella.
I can't stand it. Like it's like
It's pretty good, but
Dr-
yeah, you don't.
it's kind of just like a dry, earthy taste.
It's
I
a good
feel.
ingredient. Like, have you ever had coffee with
No.
Nutella in it?
Oh yeah.
That
Well,
that's really good.
Oh, I
I
don't
don't know.
drink coffee, but-
Hazelnuts is almost very similar, I guess. But yeah,
Hazelnuts.
but like just Nutella alone, like I don't know, like it's like a earthy, too earthy, I guess for me. And I'm just like,
Steve doesn't like earthiness. Anyways, today we're changing up the format a little bit. We're gonna talk about the top 10 things that we think have happened or that we were interested in since the last time we talked, which was September 24th, 2019. It's currently. Oh, we can't tell the date today because whenever this gets released, that's what day it is. But yeah, Mr. Steven, would you like to start us off?
Number 10.
you son of a bitch, you stole my number 10.
Nope, I already said it. You can't. We're going to number 9 now.
Number 10, we're gonna go ahead and start off with the Star Wars, the Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah. So the three of us actually just saw this yesterday together.
Well, thanks for not putting a time frame on the podcast.
Well, we can see it whenever.
Yeah, no, we didn't-
Oh,
doesn't say
I guess
anything.
so. Well, it would be after releasal, so okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, no, we all saw this yesterday together with another friend of mine, and we fell into two camps in our group.
Oh yeah,
We
we had
me
the,
and Steven had a good idea of or we thought that it was a really good movie. We thought it was pretty good. There was a little bit of cheese, there was a little bit of awkward moments, and maybe a couple unnecessary things, but overall solid movie. And James,
I hated it. Like, to be fair, I didn't like number 7. I didn't see 8, and I didn't like Rogue One.
Oh yeah, all the filler ones. Yeah.
why didn't you see 8? Was it because 7, 8, 9?
Oh
No.
god.
That didn't work at all.
Like, no one wanted like to go see it, and I didn't care about go seeing it. Like, it wasn't something like, oh, I need to go watch number 8. Like, it wasn't like I cared about it.
Oh,
And like
that's fair.
like I said, when I watched 9, like you don't need to watch 8. Like I didn't feel like I missed anything.
Why
you know?
didn't you like 9?
So a lot of it felt like just random. Like
He's like, I didn't need to see 8 to understand 9, but a lot of it felt really random.
Yeah.
what? not random, but like I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. Like a lot of the fighting felt unnecessary.
Like choreographed by like a professional
Oh.
or what?
Well,
Well, no, just like they're like, oh, like I didn't understand the concept of Rey and Kylo Ren essentially having mind battles randomly,
Yeah.
but not doing it all the time.
Well,
Like, I feel like
he was trying to convert her to the dark side, but he
dark
also
side.
loved her. So
I understood that.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
100%.
but he loved
like,
her, and he's
wh-
trying to get her.
Why are we having this like? Why does like it go in and out? Like, why are you just continually
Well, because-
doing this?
Well-
that like is it like a mental strain?
I
Like,
feel like it's when he wants, because like when you look at when it happened, right, originally, because like I feel like she didn't have control over it,
Yeah.
but he did.
sure.
And-
like you can kind of tap into her abilities or entities.
Yeah, and like when he was looking for her, that's when it happened.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of times, like he was looking for her, and he's like when he taps into it, like he can't see where she is or anything like that, but like sometimes he can like see an item if she
Yeah.
touches it, it like
Yes.
becomes available to him or whatever.
Yes.
And so like he would kind of like use that kind of stuff to like gauge where she was, and like that's how he found her the one time he like was like Darth Vader. Darth Vader's helmet was there.
Sure.
well,
And yeah, so he found her that way. But like a lot of times, like it was just like mind games, and like I think he was trying to play with her to see if she could think about something, and then he could read her mind, and then he'd know where she was. But obviously, as a Jedi, she was resisting this at all times. So
Well, because like here was like the thing between that as well, which he was saying like if you would have saw 8, this is kind of where it first happened from, where he was able to kind of talk and communicate
it
with
kind of
her.
happened in 7 too. I remember.
So what? Wait, what happened in 8 that like made that a thing? Like, didn't they get into like a fight and then like lightsabers merged or something?
With the Sith Lord Snoke, and that's kind of where it all
yeah,
derived from,
yeah,
where they're
yeah.
kind of mentally tapping into each other just to kind of communicate back and forth and
It
figure
was
out
a
what
thing.
they're doing.
It was like a mind meld kind of thing.
But yeah,
you see, like I didn't care how it came from. I accepted it. Like it wasn't like I'm complaining about like it as a concept. It was like
it was a cool concept.
Like it was a fine concept, but like I don't know if it was at its full potential.
Well, because okay,
yeah,
so
maybe.
Here's the only like really big change that to me that really kind of stood out was that from 7 to 8 to 9, the only difference was like the directors of who was actually involved in the actual project.
J.J. Abrams.
Starting from 7 was J.J. Abrams, and also 9 they had a filler in from, I think his name was like Ryan Johnson, that filled in for 8.
Really?
And a lot of people had they hated it like because like it was so different, so changed. And like he tried to tell a story, but like he had half the information. And 9 comes along where J.J. Abrams tries to fill in the gap from a little bit from what he was telling from 7, and also to what he was telling from 8 as well. So he took the information. He told you who Snoke was. He told you the history of like what Rey was. He told you the bond between Kylo and Rey as well, and then kind of the progression of story with the actual Sith Lords and the Jedi himself and where that's going for Council.
Another issue I had was it felt there was no consequences in the movie.
Oh yeah,
like
that's I can agree with that.
It was like easily fixed, easily wrapped up.
They're like, oh, Chewbacca's dead, and they're like, oh, but he's not dead.
Spoiler.
That's fine. The movie's bad. You don't need to see it.
Oh, get out of here! It was actually great for what it was.
And then they're like, oh, C-3PO's like memory is lost, but it's saved on a hard drive in R2-D2, and there could be a punishment, but then there's no punishment for it.
Yeah, like there was like no repercussions for like any action.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, Leia and Ben dying, like that was kind of a weird one, like how she just like kind of randomly was like, oh, I'm gonna go die now, and then she like projected her voice into his head, and then he became good, and then he kissed Rey, and then
there was honestly so much to actually go through. Like we're pretty limited with on what we have for time to actually talk about it. But the thing that really kind of like distraught me was like watching her kind of go through her passing all over again, knowing what happened actually like within Carrie Fisher's life. And I was like, just like sitting there, it like really like hit me hard. I was like, damn, like I don't know.
Making like reliving Carrie Fisher's
like
dying again.
Yeah,
I think they did her justice.
Definitely.
It was that part was good.
I thought it was probably fine, but like to me, like Carrie Fisher probably doesn't hit me the same as probably you two.
Yeah. Well, we have
because we're like a decade older than you.
Yeah, so like to me, it was like fine, like whatever, like we can like go over it. Like I felt like it was too much.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I care more about.
He was overwhelmed with emotions.
Like they even had her daughter and everything reappear back up in the
Oh,
in
wow.
the story, which was
and
kind of
like,
good. She had a couple of lines.
What's it called? Jake was saying it felt like they were just bringing back old characters that have them in.
I agree. I think I just
like I'm more
allow myself to enjoy things more than you guys. You guys are too critical.
Like
Jake.
Like I think the idea of Star Wars and even like Star Trek to some extent is the idea of not seeing humanoid people, seeing like different beings. I think that's more interesting to me. Like that's when I'm more captivated than it's seeing like a same like another human just doing whatever.
Yeah, true. I guess because there weren't any like standout non-human characters other than Chewbacca. Really, I don't think. Well, even the new droid that they had kind of brought along.
Didn't have any
the little microphone thing.
One last thing that I want to say about this before we move on to the next one is the like tiny flashback scene where they had Luke and Leia in their young like whatever years they were like
training
20s training years where Luke was training Leia for the Jedi, and they did that like whole scene in like the swamp with like the CG animation of like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher as like youngins again. That was so cool. That was so cool. Like I would love like because like you watch movies in like the 80s, 90s, 70s, whatever. Yeah. And like those people get old, and now you see them, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's great," but you're old now. But you just have a young video again. Just do it young.
That was in like Dagobah, right? Where Yoda.
That was like the Yoda one in the swamp.
Yeah. Dagobah.
Anyways, next
number 9.
Get out of here. That's mine.
Nope, I'm stealing it.
The number 9 thing that we wanted to mention was Mr. Beast raising $20 million to plant trees. That was pretty notable because he actually just recently hit his goal on. It took too much. When did he hit his goal? Like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was a few days
literally
ago.
just
a few days ago.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like December 18th or so. He hit exactly $20 million.
But anyways, yeah.
And of course, where the actual website was in like tree.org or so, where it was like every $1 proceeding goes to one tree being planted in the Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. The thing that like I think planting trees is like a noble cause, but we've had these movements here like in Canada too, where they'll like plant a bunch of trees somewhere where they need trees planted.
Yeah.
But then what the problem with planting trees is that
Maintaining
like they need to
growth.
maintain them. Yeah. They you can't just put a tree in the ground and then like hope it works, right?
Yeah.
You have to like water it and stuff. Like once they're big and they kind of just
Like self-sufficient, self-reliant.
They're more self-sufficient, rely on themselves and the nature around them and stuff. But yeah, like what often happens is like they'll plant a tree and then like nobody ever comes and waters it and stuff, and like it costs a lot of money to do that as well.
Oh yeah, to maintain, yeah.
And yeah, like even 100 trees, like you gotta imagine like how many liters of water you have to pump in and whatever, and like hopefully it rains and hopefully that's all good and whatever, but you have to water your garden every couple of days or whatever, like very frequently. So these trees, I'm assuming, need a lot of water.
Well, because like even so, like is it like someone who's physically like planting? Because from like the videos and everything that I've been seeing, they had like a lot of like engineer students and everything, and like engineer YouTubers, and they were setting up like drones and everything, and they were just kind of doing like a bucket drop where they're just dropping like seeds and stuff like that all throughout like the areas. So I was like wondering if that's their concept of planting, or like because there's a couple of other people where they're actually digging into the soil and just like dropping the trees directly.
Yeah.
So like I wonder what's their concept, I guess, of planting trees, to sort of see. But either way, it's a notable cause, like you were saying. But they did raise up 20 million.
Yeah.
And
I hope they're not just like air bombing like a million seeds.
That's what a lot of people were doing, and they're like, okay, this is like 1,000 here, and I'm just like, is that even like? Is that going to work at all? Like, it's just kind of like if an acorn falls or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's the idea, like
just a bunch of animals go.
If you're doing it that way, is that like all the trees like you plant in the area is probably not going to survive, so you're gonna plant
more
X
excessive,
amount. So X, like a percent of them will survive.
For sure.
Hopefully they will survive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like that was another thing too. Is just like maintaining and seeing what's going on. If anyone's actually getting paid, I guess, of this lump sum, or is it just going to the tree plantation? Is there going to be a follow up program with it? Like that should be kind of the next step of making sure that actually things are going. Not just so much as like tag them, but just to see if they're getting a sufficient amount. But obviously, it's going to take like 20 some odd years before you see any type of geographical change. Like when you take like an overhead picture of the area, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and see the difference.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like planting trees, obviously a good thing, but like it's the aftercare that's like the most important. Yeah. Number 8.
Number 8.
So one thing that happened in October, on October 18th, there was the first all-female spacewalk. And then just a few days later, there was the election too, which, two big events. But the first all-female spacewalk was notable because it was actually delayed a couple of times too. Like there was a problem the first time they tried to go out, and then afterwards, eventually they did go out, and I don't even remember what they did. They like fixed something, and then
that's usually why they go out
came
there.
back in. Yeah, but I remember like the first time,
satellites.
I thought they like let somebody out, and then like a tether wasn't like strapping down correctly or something like that. It's like, of course they're trying to do this historic thing, and then something bad happens. It's like, whatever. They delayed it, and then they did it anyways.
So I want you to tell me if this is like bad to say. I think it's weird anytime they say this is the first women's squad to do it. Like, why does that have to be announced? Like, I don't think that should be such a big deal. Like
why is that relevant? Or
well, like I understand, like it is relevant in the sense, like, this is the first time, but like, why should we care? Like, it should be the norm.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. It should be the norm. I think the reason why we should care is because it isn't.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's just like in a sense like paying tribute just because.
Yeah.
Well, but like I feel like once we're announcing it, like it's news, then I don't feel like we're getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more beneficial. Like let's say I was working for them and I see it, than saying like, we're doing this. boost our numbers.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
see,
Like, that's just my view. Anytime like something like this happens,
I see where you're coming from there, and like I kind of agree.
this could be like a white male thing too. Like
But
like
I kind of agree where
privilege.
you're coming from, but at the same time, I think that what you're saying actually does happen most of the time, and we're not talking about like the first female team to flip a burger at McDonald's. We're talking about like women in space. Like that's a pretty big deal. There's only so many people in space, anyways.
Yeah.
And then now you have a team of women who are like going and doing something that all women have never done before. And so I think that's why it's news. The same way you'd hear about the news if you had like the first female president of the United States or whatever. But like women are like doing things all the time, and like sometimes it does become news. Like I forget which country, but somewhere in the Middle East there was within the last couple of years there was a woman who was like the first female fighter pilot or something like that, and that's like a pretty big deal in like the Middle East, especially like a woman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Doing something like
yeah,
that
like
in the
Middle East, like I can see it.
Yeah,
a little bit
but like
bigger deal.
it's when things like that happen that it becomes news because it's just like a bigger thing.
It's more
kind
of a
like,
novelty.
Well, it's like more of like those are the steps forward, but
Sure.
like they kind of help make strides elsewhere, right? It's like, oh well, if women can fly a plane for the army, then why don't we let them do other things and stuff? And like so that's obviously
like I said, like I could
it should be the norm though. But
like I said, I could definitely me being like a white male and that's like in a spot of privilege and it's like not.
Are you in a spot of privilege? He gets paid lunches.
That's a spot of privilege right there.
If a woman did your job, would you be impressed?
Yeah.
James
So
doesn't even have to wear regular pants.
I guess just paying tribute to these females as well. Like their first and last names at Christina Koch and Jessica Meir were the two astronauts at this point.
Oh, so there's only two. Like it's only two people.
What do you?
I thought,
Man,
like,
James
five.
is just like
it's
shit.
it's a whole team, but
on the whole
those are
thing.
the only two, I guess, that's actually doing the spacewalk themselves.
Oh,
So yeah,
I was like 5-10 people in my head.
well, it's a whole team. It's like
There's not.
Yeah.
Is there even 10 people in the space station?
we could be a team. Like there's three of us.
Yeah. See, the thing about teams is that when me and Steve are painting, you.
oh my god, you literally just sat there and watched this.
Hey, I was a supervisor
Supervisor
watching the
position.
Pringle video on the couch. Okay,
We'll post pictures of James watching the video while me and
Oh
Steve
my
did
God.
work later. But
you guys took pictures of me.
you know what? Actually, it was me taking a picture, James doing nothing, and then Steve painting. So whatever. Anyways,
Coup de classic. Number 7.
number 7. So Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Is it Thunberg?
Thunberg, yeah.
Thunberg. Greta Thunberg wins Times, Person of the Year. We thought this was notable because she brought on the climate strikes. Well, I don't know if she made that happen necessarily, but she's definitely a catalyst in that happening.
Yeah.
And it was a whole week long protest or whatever worldwide. We actually had it here in Windsor too, and I had the day off on that Friday. And my friends were down, and so we actually went to it. We took the dog for a walk and went out and like partook in the climate
Okay.
walk. Yeah, I went there, and yeah, it was pretty neat. Like it was kind of like a bunch of angry people like getting up in front of the crowd to speak. The thing that bugged me was like it was kind of maybe a little bit poorly planned, and like I feel like if they would have asked anybody for help, like they could have got like a better speaker or something like that.
Yeah.
But it really sucked because like they were all like loud and yelly and stuff. But like it was almost like they were yelling louder than the speakers. So like you could
wow.
barely understand what anybody was saying,
Yeah.
especially if you were a tiny bit further back. And plus like it was a big crowd of people, and as quiet as they were trying to be, like people were obviously talking.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really cool though. And then there was like a Green Party people like talking and like raising their platform and stuff like that. So it was near the election, the federal election, and so there was a lot of that. And so that's why it was also probably like more of a concern around that time in Windsor, because we were about to have a federal election. And yeah, it was neat. There were a lot of people that came and talked, and I think they had a lot of valid things to say. And at the end of the day, we need to take care of the climate, and that's what the strikes were about. Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to really say about it. But yeah, I guess she was like one of the activists or spokesmen who actually like inspired to it, because I guess it was just like a couple of days right before the UN climate meeting.
Oh
or
yeah,
so.
the climate
So
summit.
That's kind of when it all happened, and the whole like world.
Well, one
kinda
thing I think
gathered
was
together.
funny was in her like initial like speech or like talk, like I don't know, it's probably speech is the best word to use for it. She was talking like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna win awards, but it means nothing if we're not doing change." So the fact that like she foreshadowed like something like this would happen,
Oh.
and like it means nothing until like we actually change, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Did you also see Donald Trump like?
Yeah.
Oh my god, his tweet. Yeah.
And then like she changed her Twitter profile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he tweeted out that she should stop being so angry and maybe go out to therapy and get watch some movies with her friends or
And
something
just like
like
relax or chill or something. Like
yeah,
that.
chill and relax and watch some movies with your friends. And then her Twitter profile changed to like, I'm just a young angry person seeking help and watching movies with my friend, chilling with my friends or whatever.
Such a terrible woman. Terrible woman.
The most terriblest woman ever. Yeah, whatever.
So number 5.
No, number 6. What the
Six.
hell's
You
wrong
want to
with
skip
you?
that one? Oh
Number
man,
6.
number 6.
You son of a bitches! I haven't even watched the latest episode.
So Rick and Morty season 4 came out. So the reason why I thought this was important, or not important, but like, an event, was because the last season of Rick and Morty ended on October 1st, 2017, and it is now December 2019. So this is about a little over 2 years ago we saw the last episode. And like, when you think about TV traditionally, like, you never have to wait 2 years for the next season, especially if something like you really want to see. Like, imagine like, I was really into Game of Thrones, so imagine you had to wait like 2 or 3 years for Game of Thrones. But obviously there was a lot of contract issues and stuff like that they had to sort out.
They actually did that with Game of Thrones. They made you wait 2 years.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
make
for-
you wait 2 years.
It was like a year and a half.
It was a little longer than a year, but it wasn't 2 years.
Oh, I thought it was legit 2 years because I thought it was
was
like
over
from,
2 years.
after season 7, and you had to wait the additional 2 years, and then like came back in like May something, and then
Well, whatever. Like
Yeah.
there was a bit of a delay because they wanted to up the production value and like
Yeah.
whatever. I get it, but like this, it's a cartoon for one, which I know that they're difficult to do. But like I think a lot of the issue is like money, like getting funding and like agreeing to like
Yeah.
a deal and stuff. Because like what would happen is they'd get funded for a season, and then it would stop, and then they would like renegotiate something. And so after 3 seasons, they've hit a chord with like pop culture and with the whole
Is
all
it-
the Rick and Morty stuff that's happened.
is it like
the bad
Adult
things.
Swim that picked them up with it?
Adult Swim,
yeah.
It's an Adult Swim show.
Yeah,
They've
okay,
always
yeah,
been
yeah.
Adult Swim.
Well, no, because that's with like the whole like contract dispute and stuff like that, because they were uncertain if they actually wanted it back. But due to the popularity of
Oh yeah,
like,
but now they have them for 72
whole thing,
episodes, and there are 5. But what's neat about it is because like this started in 2013, and it's the end of 2019 now. Well, technically it started at the beginning of 2013, but whatever. It's the end of 2019 now, so it's been going for like about 6 years, and they've only produced 3 seasons, and now we have like a half a season that was released. And I think what they're gonna do now is the split season, so they're gonna like air a season and then air the other half of the season, whatever. But hopefully what happens now is like every year at roughly the same time, like they're gonna be releasing a season, because like yeah,
I was wondering, is it just like the 2 animators still doing it? Like, because
Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon.
yeah, like, are they still the only animators on the show? Why it's taking them
No,
so
they're
long
not
for, like,
animated.
per
They're
season?
like
Well,
the creators.
Well, I guess like whoever they have for like their staff.
Oh
and,
no,
like,
they have a whole
why is it-
staff. They have a whole team.
Oh,
Yeah, there's like
is
this
it-
is a whole production. Dude.
Okay, so is it just like a planned production of why they're deciding to space it out? Just
Well, I feel like they're trying to space it out now. Because like this contract thing just started rolling like recently, and like it takes them a long time to like write and research these episodes. I think that's like the main problem. And then like the animators, right? Like they animate, they come back, and like if things need to be changed and stuff like that.
yeah.
And they also try to like fit in like pop culture kind of things and whatever. But-
Exactly. Just listen to this name. Was it episode 5? Rattlestar.
Oh yeah, so many pop pop culture things. That was a really good episode, and yeah, I'm excited to see more. That was probably like one of my favorite episodes of the season. Yeah.
I legit walked into work, and that's all what people were doing was like the snake jazz.
Yeah, so the snake jazz thing, the snake jazz is hilarious. But what's funny, my friend sent me a video, and it's 1 hour of snake jazz on. It's like just an hour long, and like it's like a video of like Morty, and he's like, "Oh, what's on the radio?" And then he turns it on, and he's like, "Oh, just more of this." And then the animation stops, and it's just like, tss, tss, tss. And it's so funny in the video. If you go down to the comments or whatever, it says lyrics, and then it's just a big long.
Oh yeah, and the disclaimer or description. For the
Yeah,
actual-
yeah, and the lyrics. Yeah. Oh man, it's so funny. But yeah, number 5. This one's James' topic
There you
here.
go, James.
So Zero went to Facebook Gaming, which is essentially their version of Twitch. Like of their like trying to like you watch video games on Facebook. You know,
Yeah,
like,
so esports.
it's not even like esports. Like it just
Well, it's just like streaming. Like
it's more like
Streaming
TV.
platforms.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, tell us who Zero is, because like I literally just heard who he was from you.
So Zero's it's a like Smash Brothers player. Like he's starting to go outside of Smash Brothers, but like
Okay.
on Twitch, I think he had about 20K subs, so that's people giving him like $5 a month.
Oh wow.
And then he had like 500,000 people following him on Twitch.
Oh, geez. No, yeah. I was actually just saying, quick look on Twitch alone. He's sitting at like close to 520,000
Yeah, like
followers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
so like it's free to follow, but like I think there's like 15, 20K people giving
actually
him,
paying him.
yeah,
to
giving
play,
him like
tips
five,
and stuff
like
like
at
that.
least
Oh,
$5.
520,000?
Yeah.
Well, following him.
That's following,
Like
but
just
like
like just
Yeah,
hit and
active
follow.
users are
But
Yeah,
guests.
the subscription.
Yeah.
there's people get like I think it was like 20K people getting him $5 a month,
Oh wow.
and then like that's not counting like people donating to him too.
Does he have like an annual like revenue of how much he's making at all, or has that been
Well,
said or anything?
if you take
Well-
20,000 and multiply it by 5 per month, which is 100,000, and then you multiply that
Well,
by 12, which is the amount of months in a year.
Well, you got to
it's
keep
about
in mind,
1.2
like,
million a year.
well, not everybody's giving him just like let's say $1 per.
no, isn't it like a subscription fee? Just
Yeah, it's like
$5?
$5 a
it's
month.
okay. Oh, I
Like-
thought it was I thought that they tip him.
Carlos
or something like
has
you can do
19
both.
pineapples, and he goes
Yeah.
through the line at
You-
the grocery store.
There's
and
both.
The lady behind him has 25 volleyballs. How many coconuts does Carlos need to fit into 700 volleyballs if each volleyball takes up half a coconut?
This is taking in a turn. I thought it was going to be something else, like he gives it to his friend. I'm like, what does Carlos have? A friend.
So the thing is, like, I used to watch Zero at least on Twitch, and
Okay.
for me, like, I tried watching on Facebook, and Facebook's platform is it's so bad. that
Really?
you tend to watch on. So, like, first of all, like on Twitch, like if I wanted to comment, like I had like a username basically,
Okay.
which was like Smiley, and like it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But like if I want to comment on Facebook, it's just my name. So like just people like, oh, James Arquette posted.
James has a stupid
So-
opinion.
Yeah, so which is just, like it makes it weird.
Yeah.
First of all, to post, and then it's just like the other platforms are made in the sense of like, oh, like if I want to watch on my Xbox or if I want to watch it on
Okay.
like my TV, it's set up that way. Where Facebook, you can't like that's set it up on your TV or
Oh, okay.
like it's not set up in the sense for streaming. It's set up
Okay.
for
Yeah, like
you
a
know,
Facebook live feed
Yeah.
or something like that. I get it.
Well, because you think this is going to be like Facebook's like pull to try and get like the younger viewership to come back to Facebook, or
What?
because
Oh
like
man, if you still have grandmas in there,
well, I was going to say because like yeah, you
Hi,
look at
Grandma.
like the millennial generations as of right now, like nobody's using Facebook. It's all
Yeah.
about Snapchat,
Like,
Instagram, Twitter. But even though that's like they own it, but still, you know. What I'm
Yeah,
talking
like
about.
I think he
They
was
still want
hitting
people to
about
their
like
platforms.
two 3K people watching him, like
on
average.
Facebook.
Yeah,
I wonder how
Okay.
much Facebook paid him too, because like
I-
if they had to pull because he had to pull his content completely from Twitch, like he's Facebook
Yeah.
exclusive now.
like he still has a YouTube channel, but like
Okay.
still.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing like gaming streaming elsewhere because like the article that I read said that he still had like an opening to do other things. Like he can explore
Yeah.
other avenues.
Okay.
Like,
But
I-
like streaming gaming, I'm pretty sure he's just Facebook.
Like
Oh,
I think
wow,
he has
okay.
a few million people following him on or subscribed to him on YouTube too, which
Oh,
is
okay.
like
yeah,
So, like,
that's fair.
he's like I said, kind of big. Like
Makes sense.
like you have to get paid at least like $5 million for like 5 years, because I imagine like you probably have to do like a certain year
Yeah.
Yeah.
base to make it worth like you getting off of Twitch.
Well, yeah, too, because he has to like regain that subscribership, and like
Yeah.
that's if that can happen.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna start watching things on Facebook anymore
Yeah.
Yeah.
than I currently do. So yeah, I don't know.
So I guess
Like,
from here they're hoping that the younger viewers would actually go on, make a Facebook account, then hop in just to kind of follow him because that's what they think that the type of pull he has. Like, is that kind of where they're trying to go for?
I don't know what Facebook's doing, but I know part of the reason Zero said
Shane.
he obviously
Get
did it.
Zuckerberg on the phone.
He obviously did it for like money reasons, but like part of the reason why he said was like, oh, Facebook said that they would work with me and like fix their platform and like
Oh.
we'll do special events.
I guess
Which
Yeah.
hopefully like I think it would be exciting if he did special kind of events, which would be interesting. But like I don't know if Facebook's actually gonna do anything.
Yeah, and well, like I'm sure it's in their interest to make it better, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think what you said earlier was like the reason why this is significant is because like Twitch isn't the only major gaming platform now. You have
Yeah.
like Ninja going over to Mixer. You have like all these people kind of moving away
Yeah, like,
from Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, Shroud went to Mixer.
Yeah. What's kind of crazy though is like you got all these people moving away from all these things, but like the things that they're moving into are just going to become like big juggernauts again, because like originally like Twitch was the alternative to YouTube, and then now Twitch sucks too, right?
Yeah.
And so people are moving away from that again, and it's like, isn't Mixer Microsoft?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Facebook. Well, if YouTube owned by Google and Mixer owned by Microsoft, or sorry, Twitch is just Twitch, right? Or
Yeah.
but like all these companies are doing shitty things, and it's like, oh well, we're gonna move because that one's shitty. Well, they're all shitty. They're all gonna be shitty in some capacity.
Yeah. Like, I still think I haven't watched Mixer yet because I haven't had a reason.
Yeah, I went
to
on
watch.
Mixer and I was like, wow, this is
I
cluttered.
went on Mixer, but like all my favorite like streamers are on Twitch, so I'm just gonna watch on Twitch because it's.
If I was streaming, I would just stream on all platforms.
I think
I'd tape 4 cameras together.
I know you can do Twitch through Facebook. Like I know you can do both. I don't know if you can go all free though. I imagine there's probably some third extension that would do it for you.
No, I would have 4 computers, 4 cameras, tape them all together.
Oh, okay.
Do separate feeds
Sure.
of all of them. I would be playing with 4 controllers, and I would just split the wires out into 4 different consoles. Same game.
You play like split screen. And it's like
Yeah. Anyways, Steven.
Number 4.
Number 4, the Trump impeachment, which actually, funny thing, because we're talking about things that have happened since the last time we talked. The last time we wrapped up a podcast, literally the House brought the articles or like they set up the investigation into the impeachment on Trump. So like the day that we stopped, September 24th, that started, and roughly a few days after he actually was impeached. Then we're recording again. So we actually just took the hiatus here because we just
18th?
couldn't.
we couldn't fathom our savior, our hero.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we couldn't possibly fathom what we could possibly talk about while such an important event was happening. Even though it was only number 4 on our list. But
You know,
Yeah.
we could have covered the news justice.
Have,
we
have you guys
let
actually
the
like?
professionals.
Have you guys actually followed the actual impeachment? Well,
I
it's
haven't
being talked
followed it at all.
everywhere
I
and everything
can't.
like
I
that.
can't listen anymore.
0%.
Seriously,
News.
I was
Yeah.
just actually watching on Twitter. Twitter had a bunch of live feeds going on. I
Yeah,
was actually
it's
sitting
just
there for like a couple hours watching
At
it.
the real Donald Trump live feed right there. It's
Yeah.
just like
Oh my
constant, like
God.
the Democrats, they did this, the Democrats, everybody's evil. I'm
It
good,
was-
they're evil. Do you not like me?
Well,
You're evil.
It was so funny. Like I got like 2 things, maybe 3 things out of this whole impeachment process. It's like how people are still like arguing, talking about like where's fair trial, where's fair trial. Second of all, it's like this isn't a trial at this point. It's an investigation to move the articles
Well, now it's a
to.
trial.
But yeah, now once it actually gets to the Senate point, it's actually a trial, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's impeached. Oh, he's removed." I'm like, wow, like that actually opened up a lot of lights to like people not knowing their own, I guess, politics in a sense. Which it's not expected for like every younger type of person to actually follow like any type of political assets, but something as sufficient and important, I guess, as being removed from
Yeah.
head office should be kind of.
I feel like a lot of
known, I
people
guess.
don't
Yeah.
understand how like the removal from office procedure works.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when like people have been talking to me about it all the time, and yeah, like when you're impeached, like that's
Yeah.
the first. Well, there are a bunch of steps, but that's
Yeah.
like one of the first steps. That's the first major step. But a lot of people don't understand that. Like that doesn't mean anything yet. Like being impeached is like one thing, and then like
Yeah.
there are like a bunch more things that need to happen, and a bunch more things that could happen if this happens, this happens. So like a big chain of events that can happen here. And
Yeah.
like most people think like, oh yeah, we
He's
got
impeached.
it.
He's done.
We
That's
did,
it.
yeah, and it's like no, that's not how it works, unfortunately. I
but
wish it did.
yeah, like we're saying, they kind of came down to the 2 impeachment articles. I know one was like abuse of power, and
The other one was
it was something to do with the
impeding the House, basically.
yeah, it was interference, I guess, with like with not the Constitution, but with like Congress, basically. I don't know, because
The House of Congress.
Yeah, he was protesting that, allowing, I guess, his like aide or whatever to actually come in to actually give specific like papers or whatever. I can't remember what the hell like
He lost
documents
his
they were trying to get
paperwork.
for it. They're trying to get like specific documents. I can't remember the name of whatever legislation they were trying to get for it. But
Legislation.
He just said no.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's moving on,
Yeah.
but obviously it's not going to go anywhere. We only have a year left, though. But you know, at least one thing, like
Yeah.
somebody put it this way: it's like, you know what? No matter what happens from this
Mm-hmm.
point on, it's going down in the history books that Trump was the 3rd president to be
Yeah,
impeached.
because at this point
That's
too,
all
I think
that matters.
it was like Nancy. What's her name? Nancy Pelosi. What's her last name?
Nancy Perogi.
Pierogi. Okay. That she was kind of denying the fact of right now not handing off the actual articles. It was like over like 300 and no, it was like 700 or something like that papers that she has to give to Senate to kind of move on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Before it could actually go to trial at Senate.
We know exactly what
Wait,
you're talking about,
who
Steve.
submitted those papers?
Get out of here. Okay.
But
what?
let's go to number 3.
Screw it. We're going live. Number 3.
No, I already said it. Too late.
I actually like this. This one was really interesting. I just found out about this today.
Yeah.
We actually collaborated on a list here, and then turned 30 things into 10 things. So this one was James, and this one was actually really neat. I didn't know about James.
For once, he's pulling his weight.
I always pull my weight.
This is actually the story he forgot about, I thought, and then eventually remembered and was like, "Oh yeah, we need to make this one."
All
It
right,
came
let's
up on number 3 on the list.
Go ahead.
James.
Number 3.
MLB legalized marijuana or lifted it off their drug abuse policy.
Yeah,
That's
I just think
technical
that's so
term.
cool because I think that marijuana, is it performance enhancing?
No, not in that sense.
No, if anything, I think it would
Not-
slow him down.
Yeah, not for growth.
I'd pitch a fastball and then just get hit in the head with a ball.
Like,
Slow reaction time.
is he, well,
I'd be on the ground and
what
then
are
I'd
you
swing the
doing,
it
bat.
depends what kind of THC you're doing. I know basketball players said the whole time they do weed every day before games. Just so
Wait,
they're-
is it
There's
uh,
kinds of THC?
allowed in the NBA?
No. MLB's the first major sport.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
That's why I found it interesting.
Yeah, no, I thought it was super cool. Plus,
But
it's neat.
NBA players do it anyways. But you know what I mean?
What? They do it anyways?
Because they're dumb.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think it's the
Wait,
same
well,
thing
how
for
long does
NHL
weed
as
stay
well.
in your system?
Doesn't THC
I thought it was
stay
a
for,
weed.
Was it a weed? I thought
weed.
I thought it was close to 30
Well, then they
days or
can
something like that.
test
I
your
don't know.
hair too and stuff like that. But yeah, just it's so strange because
Yeah.
it's just not performance enhancing. If anything, it's just fun. It makes you feel better, or whatever. But I don't think it improves your performance in any capacity. But that's just my opinion. It doesn't improve my performance in any way. I sit on the couch and eat potato chips.
Your performance and everything's so low. It's hard for.
Yeah, it's
It's hard to calculate anyways.
It's negligible. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's just super neat. It would be really cool though to see this kind of start happening in more major sports. But
You see, to me, I don't know if it actually affects the sport. If NBA or even
Okay.
NFL, the only thing it would change is that some players wouldn't get suspended, which would change my view. But I think the idea of they can smoke weed now wouldn't change my view of a sport.
Okay, what about, let's say, something like the UFC MMA? Because I know that was a big controversy.
ooh, yeah, I see that.
One of the fighters,
That might be performance enhancing.
what was his name? Nick Diaz. He basically got canned for 8 years. He was suspended, and he was
Wow.
got suspended by Nevada or whatever, just because he had weed in his system.
So I think if it's in the rules, then you should get suspended.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
So I think as a principle, even if I disagree that weed should or shouldn't be on the list, if it is in the rules, then you should get suspended.
I think he's asking if you agree or disagree that it should be on the list for MMA.
because I was gonna say you could
then it
What do you think though? If you're the guy making up this rule right now, what do you think?
so I want when I'm watching sports technically, I would prefer if they were all on steroids because I want crazy people.
Oh,
He
okay.
wants the Looney Tunes movie, or what was that? What was that movie?
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Like,
Yeah, he wants Space Jam.
I
basketball
want
players.
genetic
Against
freaks
monsters.
playing sports. That would be my ideal world. Obviously, I understand why you don't because it has effects on your body and stuff. But
He just wants to watch just jacked people. He wants to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme rip somebody's arm off.
I think that would be so
victory.
much more entertaining for me.
Finish him.
That wouldn't be
Now
best
finish
for
me.
the athletes.
Yeah.
So it depends. Maybe as an athlete, sure, but
Well, James,
as
it's
a
glad to hear
watcher-
that you have a heart.
Well,
He doesn't want the athletes to kill themselves for his
All right. Here we go. Number 2.
Oh, number 2.
Oh, this was a good one.
This is the best one. Baby Yoda. The article I have here, I think it's called "Baby Yoda is Our God Now."
Oh my god. Yeah.
And it's a New York Times article, and I don't pay for it, so I can't read it. But I think that's the case. It was really strange how I became introduced to Baby Yoda. I think it was like most people through the memes.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
then I finally signed up for my week of Disney Plus or whatever. Watched The Mandalorian, and then you kind of realize after a little bit that Baby Yoda is so much more than just a meme. He's like the main character of the Mandalorian. Like you got Mando, and then you have Baby Yoda. He's like the plot device that makes the plot move around. Like all of the things are happening because of the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, like the one meme that I really like is just like I am Star Wars, and it's just like Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Like just that alone, I was like, I think it's a done deal here, guys.
Yeah. Oh man, and it's just been such a good series. And one thing that people have asked is like, does it stand on its own? Like, do I need to know anything about Star Wars to watch Mandalorian? And the answer is no. Like you can just watch it on its own. It's just a good sci-fi, like space western. Is that what they're called? Space westerns or whatever?
I don't know. I guess
I think that's a topic. That's what
or whatever. Yeah,
it's like a space western. And yeah, like I totally agree. It's such a good show. I didn't think I'd like it, and I'm actually kind of bummed that it's only 8 episodes. I like the music too. I really like the music.
Oh, the soundtrack, yeah. Oh my god.
It's been such a great show. Yeah.
That was the same feeling that I got when I first watched it. Like at first, I just had it on as background noise, and then I don't know, the plot started kind of carrying on.
Why do you have that show on as background?
Well, I don't
noise?
know. It's just like,
man, that's like a worse show to have on as
the
background
pew noise. But I was just doing my own thing because normally I just have like my telly on and whatnot, and so I was just kind of doing my own little thing. And then, anyways,
my God,
I just kind of like got distracted. I was like looking, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So I sat down and like resumed watching, and yeah, it turns out it was pretty good. So I'm like got all caught up and everything. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, you're talking.
We put it on for you today, and he just laid on the couch and started watching those Pringles videos.
Hey,
there you go.
I had priorities set, okay? It was on top of my list to watch a man eat 17 versions of Pringles.
Oh my god.
For 20 minutes.
Are there only 17 different kinds of Pringles?
Well, that was the only 17
no.
he could find.
Yeah. I think he just went to the store and just got to grab what was on shelf.
I thought he was like, this is every kind. Because like that would be more interesting. Is like, I've compiled a complete collection of all of these things.
If you go to like Japan, they have like 13 bajillion different flavors. Especially that with like Kit Kat as well.
I know he has a video of Japanese candy I'm probably going to watch later after this.
Oh my god.
Why you guys take this all down? Right on. Japanese candy.
All right. So before we jumped into our number one option, we have an honorable mention.
Oh, I thought the honorable mention was afterwards. No, man, this is like... okay.
We're on number 2. What the hell are you talking about?
Honorable mention is normally at the beginning.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because like...
Well, this was an honorable mention for number 1 because it was going to be... it was Steve's number 1 pick, which I thought was strange, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, Steve, if you'd like to...
Kicks off with the honorable mention.
Honorably.
So basically my number 1 pick was the Joker movie. Rated R, number 1 for all rated R movies. It beat Deadpool. Did you guys actually get around to watching it?
Yeah, didn't we all go together?
No,
we didn't go together.
Me and Jake went.
Oh, I went with James.
You
okay.
Take me,
Jake's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, you suck.
Jake's girlfriend was there.
She filled in my spot.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean Jake's? Isn't that his wife? Is that what you just said? Okay, yeah, it's his wife.
We left his wife at home. We brought his girlfriend. Anyways, honorable mention. Steve, tell us about your rendition of the Joker.
My rendition of it. First of all, from like everybody, what they were saying, they give their own perspective. They said like it started off slow, like it was very weird to watch this whole transition. My interpretation of talking about it is you have to go in with like an open mindset and just slowly watch like the mental breakdown of a human being, and that's exactly what this movie was. It was just a slow decomposing mental psyche of a man, and like how society kind of pushed him to the point where he got to within the movie for him to be
jokes.
Suicidal.
I agree with you, and like I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, if you went in with that concept, like,
so what did you going? Like, what was
I went in totally thinking like whatever. I wasn't expecting an action movie. I was expecting more of a drama. I was I didn't really watch any trailers or anything, but like I did go in with open mind, and I liked the movie overall. Like after I came out of it, I was like, wow, that was like a really unsettling movie. Like all the good things that people had to say about it, I generally agreed with them.
Yeah,
but as far as like bad things, this is actually kind of interesting, okay? Because like I went into that movie, James and I went into that movie, and I think we both felt the same way about it.
Okay.
I don't know how far into the movie we were. Let's say 45 minutes into the movie. I felt like I was there for like 2 or 3 years.
The pacing wasn't
the pacing was so bad. It was so off. And so interesting. I legitimately thought that was a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
2.5 hours at least, but definitely 2.5, like 3 hours. I thought it was closer to 3 hours, maybe even longer. And then James is like, No, I don't think it was that long, but like, yeah, I felt like it was. And then I looked it up. It was only 2 hours.
Oh wow,
It
really?
wasn't even a long movie. Like 2 hours is like a pretty standard time for a
Yeah,
movie.
2 hours and 2
It was
minutes.
only 2 hours.
Yeah, which is
Absolute
crazy.
insanity. And I just found that out today, and I was like
Yeah.
blown away. I was like, no way. Like I remember feeling like I was gonna like die there. Like it was taking so long for
To
that
actually
movie to
get to the
finish.
point, yeah.
And then like nothing was happening. And then like as soon as like a little bit of action happened, and then just like
It just plateaued. Yeah.
stopped, and then I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I don't know that I'd watch it again. I don't understand how it achieved these statistics, like being like the best, the most, whatever.
It was just being a comic book movie associated
Yeah.
with Batman.
Yeah.
Like that was it's hard
Yeah.
to argue.
I didn't even know it was Marvel or sorry DC.
DC,
I didn't
yeah.
even know it was DC. I thought it was like, they took the idea and kind of just
Well,
Okay.
if it's related with Batman, then it has
Yeah.
to be DC.
Well, because like a lot of people were dying for an actual like live Joker movie just because they want to see and compare it
Oh,
to like,
yeah, because
Heath
the
Ledger's
last one-
performance and like the downfall of who the hell was the other guy who did the Joker?
Jared
Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah, of his little like gangster Joker that he had
I
going.
found
on.
Yeah.
like an interesting idea.
yeah.
Honestly,
It
I
never
thoroughly
played out.
enjoyed
That's
it.
the
Yeah.
thing. Like he never really got a chance to like play it out.
Well,
yeah,
that's
'cause-
what the second one is for, apparently.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because they also had like a director's cut version
Oh,
of.
you mean Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had-
yeah. I would like to see more of
Yeah.
Jared Leto because Jared Leto is a great actor, but
Yeah.
whatever the hell was going on with Joker, I feel
Like-
like they just
But-
cut all the good stuff. Like,
What the thing is like he never really had a chance to play it out. What he had like maybe like half hour screen time, 20 minutes.
Well, a majority of that movie, I guess he was saying it got cut, so that's
Yeah.
why they were going to do a director's cut release of the.
ooh, interesting.
Oh no, it was Suicide Squad. I think I
Yeah.
said Justice League. Yeah, it was Suicide Squad. And so they were going to release that with all the additional parts of Jared Leto to kind of do the filler. But I don't know if they're going to decide to do it or not. Like,
it's
that's-
definitely not
yeah.
happening now.
Yeah.
It would have happened by now.
Yeah, yeah, because of what happened now with Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay, honorable mention over.
Okay.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix with the new Joker.
Okay, so
Number one.
the number one thing.
This is not my number one.
I don't think it's like the number one thing or whatever that happened, but like it's fuck man, the Cybertruck.
The good old
It's
Muskie's
so
at it again.
It's so weird. It's just such a weird thing. And if you look at it from afar in like their promo video and
Yeah.
stuff like that or whatever, like sure it looks neat, but like up close it literally just looks like a
brick.
parallelogram or something, just like wrapped in aluminum foil. Like it's shiny. It's like just so like not the type of material you want a car out of. I don't know, man.
They
It's
love
just like
straight
so weird.
lines.
It was so funny. Like
Yeah, they really love straight lines.
the image that I saw that someone kind of made of it. You guys played the Halo series, right?
Yeah,
Before.
the Warthog.
Oh,
So
yeah.
someone turned it into like a warthog, and like it was just hilarious. Like the way that it looked, it had like the same like geometric like polygon body of like the warthog from like the original like Xbox version of Halo. But yeah, it was just hilarious.
It's so weird that the trademarked logo it actually just looks like a cyberpunk logo, and like I can't even really read it. Like when I look at it, I just read cyberpunk. But yeah, this thing has a lot of history to it. So apparently, in 2013, Musk he said that he wanted to build a truck,
Yeah.
and then like it went through all like just this hype or whatever, and then actually in I think this summer he said like, oh yeah, we still need to tweak some things, but when in a little while we're gonna have it. And then he finally did it. I think the neatest fact about this car was so I'll just read this off the
Okay.
Wikipedia page, but the unveiling was subsequently scheduled for November 21st, 2019 at the Tesla Design Studio next to SpaceX headquarters in Los Angeles, which is the same month, year, and location that the movie Blade Runner was set in. that I thought was kind of cool.
hilarious.
Like he waited.
the irony.
He's
of
like
it.
he said in 2013 he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got an idea about a truck. and then they waited until that date and time and location.
The name of it, the cyberpunk. Like, did that just somebody
Cybertruck?
No, was it called like the Cybertruck? I thought someone like took it from like the cyberpunk and it kind of like turned it into that.
Oh, I
but
think
is
he
that
just
that
made
literally
the
the name of
name.
it, or is that just like a?
That's
fan
literally the
name?
name of it.
Okay.
This is the logo.
Okay,
That is
so-
the patented Tesla logo for the
Okay,
Cybertruck.
gotcha.
The one thing about this car, so I saw a bunch of videos of like famous YouTuber people, tech
Mm-hmm.
YouTubers driving around in this thing, and they took them for a ride. I don't understand the interior of this car. Like the front panel is like a marble flat top or
So-
whatever, and it's like having like a nice interior.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't like Ford and GM and Chrysler, they didn't just like make the insides of their cars and think like, oh yeah, this is what we think is good. Like, you know, it's like they have like engineers and people and they're like, oh, this is comfortable, this is ergonomic, this is like makes sense or whatever. But this thing is just like, yeah, I'd love a car with a marble tabletop in it. Like, what?
So I have a question. So
Yes.
isn't the idea of cars having curves is for aerodynamics? Like, why are we having a brick as a car?
Yeah, that was actually one of the main things here. I think there was who's that guest on Joe Rogan? He actually talked about that. He was just saying like, I don't think this car is going to be eligible or road safety just because of the aerodynamics of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And he went on a big whole like tangent talking about like he don't see this happening at all. Like it's a good concept. Like a lot of people have concept ideas.
Is the front, like, let's just say you did get in an accident in that car.
Yeah.
Is that car safer because it has a flat
Well,
end?
I think that Tesla has actually like done a really good job with their like safety features and whatnot. I don't think this problem will have a problem with, or I don't think this car will have an issue with the internal safety features and stuff like that. I'm sure it is going to have
But
all the exact same safety features.
The thing is, if I'm safe, but like, let's say I'm driving this car, but you're driving a normal car, are you safe? That's my question.
Well, no, this has this thing can go like 7,000 miles an hour.
Sure.
It's a Tesla.
That's
So
funny.
that license plate is super cool though. The glow, like
the
the
little
neon license plate.
neon,
I want
yeah.
one of those. Like that's the only kind of light mod I'd want to do on my car is get one of those.
It was kind of funny too, just because who's that YouTuber, the one who makes like the poor, like the crappy tech videos, where it's just like the poor
Shane.
robots and stuff. Her name's like Simone.
Oh, Simone Gertz. No,
Yeah,
Shitty Robots. She's the
the
queen
name
of Shitty
Shane.
Robots.
And she kind of made kind of like a
Truckla.
Truckla.
It's-
Yeah,
she called it
Truckla. Yeah,
Truckla.
yeah. And she took like a Tesla 3 and she like cut it up into an actual truck for
Yeah,
a
she
Truckla.
made like a bed in the back and everything like that.
It was so funny because like, she actually did that before, like I guess like the concept idea of the Cybertruck came out, which I don't know.
She just wanted a truck. She wanted to be able to like do truck things in her
Yeah.
Tesla. So she made it into a truck. She modded it into a truck. And it was actually funny because she actually, I saw a picture of her truckla next to the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
just this
crazy.
little- yeah.
So I actually saw this in a Facebook group
Mm-hmm.
a little while ago, but somebody saw one of these driving around in Los Angeles.
Jesus.
Yeah, they just like they're driving around, they're doing testing and stuff on them.
Another concept as well, the metal that they're using for the outer body. Justin Bieber did the same type of like metal alloy, like the reflective paint and shit like that.
Chrome?
And like, was it chrome? Was it all chrome that he did?
Yeah, well,
'Cause,
whenever anybody gets a Justin
yeah.
Bieber did not innovate a chrome
Well,
alloy.
no. I'm just saying because what he
dig in the
did was
mines, looking
that,
for a certain kind of
that
metal.
vehicle's like
The
now
Alchemist,
illegal to actually like
Justin
drive.
Bieber.
That vehicle's now like illegal to drive on the road in like LA.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
People
So
were
I'm
just
wondering-
looking at themselves too much. They're like,
I
"Oh, my
guess so.
mirror's
Well,
broken."
just because
and
it
they
was
look
like
at Justin Bieber's
distracting,
car.
man. Well, it was like severely distracting. Like you have the sun, everything beaming off of it too, and
Yeah, I
like
don't
the
know.
reflective areas.
One thing, and I don't know how accurate this is. I'm sure it's like accurate at least at some level, but
Yeah.
I think it was like a few hours after they opened up pre-release orders for this.
Okay.
They had like 150,000 orders on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it only cost like $100 to put a down payment on it.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
like
what I heard,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah,
I imagine they inflate their numbers too somewhat.
I don't think so.
Wasn't
Oh,
yeah,
he's
wait,
wise.
wasn't Elon
No, because it
Musk
only
got in
costs
trouble for doing
$100.
that?
So I could put
Yeah.
$100 on it and be like, yeah.
Yeah, but also too, yeah, that's extremely illegal just because it's kind of like you're.
No, they refund it if you cancel it.
Well, no, I'm saying what James was saying, basically that you,
you
inflate
can't.
your numbers
Yeah,
because
you can't do
ideally
that.
you're getting.
Then your stocks
yes,
would
yeah,
like
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So the,
People are
the
buying more
Securities
stocks
and
and
Trade
everything like
Commission,
that.
or
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cybertruck, hilarious. I can't believe that's the thing. I think it's cool though. Whatever. If all cars want to be shaped weird or whatever from now on, sure, why not?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
this was a great top 10 list, but
It's fantastic. What are you talking
so
about?
yeah, it's great. So, do you
Thick.
guys have any plans for the New Year's? Or
No.
no,
God no.
no New Year's resolution.
Oh, my New Year's resolution. Oh, I forget now.
Steve,
Honestly, nothing I could possibly think of as of right now. I don't know.
I have one.
What's
Do you
your
have one?
resolution?
What is it?
Do the podcast regularly.
Keep it on a
no.
schedule.
James
On
is
a
like
tight schedule.
the least useful person in making that happen, but that's his resolution.
We'll try to cohere it to it, my friend.
Yeah,
I feel like James comes and records when we tell him, we're like, James, be here then. And he's like, what for? And it's like, just show up. And then he
I'm
does
there.
it.
He's like, you better make sure everything's set up for me, though.
Yeah. I couldn't like give James the keys and then just be like, all right, set everything up. He'd be like, we'd get here and like there'd be like spaghetti on the ceiling. Like,
Whole bunch of Pringle cans.
Like 7,000 Pringle cans.
Don't
James
worry.
developed a gut overnight.
We'll get to that point where you can just like do a bunch of test videos where you try a bunch of products
Yeah.
and you can tell us all about them.
The dream.
The dream. Oh, jeez.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap
anyways.
this. B.
Yes. So thank you for listening to another episode of Hotline Hangout. Steve, where can they find us?
Oh my God, I totally forgot where
You forget where they can find us. Where can they find us on Instagram?
They could definitely hit us up at Hotline Hangout
Podcast.
No, that's their Twitter handle. No, that's our Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Or is it both?
No, it's an Instagram one.
Instagram.
Where can they find us on Twitter?
Hotline Hangout, definitely.
Where can they email us?
They can hit us up at hotlinehangout@gmail.com.
Where can they find you? James, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at ArquetteMTG.
Arquette MTG. ARQUETTE
Yes.
MTG. You can find me at Twitter at Chiasso, CHIASSOO. But
we don't want to do that. Just stick to Hotline Hangout.
yeah, we don't want to talk to
But
you.
I don't want your pity follows though.
Pity
Yeah, no, give 'em
follows.
pity
I don't
follows.
want your pity follows.
We still got to get to 1,000 so we can like sell out and be
Oh
thoughts.
yeah, let's
That's
be.
what we're
We
trying
want to
to
live
do.
stream. Please tell your friends. We want to do live streaming. We also we want to be sponsored. Oh, who's the sponsor that sponsors everybody?
Sponsors.
Shadow something.
Shadowverse.
Yeah,
Legends.
Shadowverse.
There you go.
Shadowverse sponsor us. Come
We're
on,
calling
give
you
us 20
out.
bucks. Like we'll say something. We'll say good things. I don't currently use your product, but whatever it is, I'll try it out. Is it a game?
Yeah, it's a game.
Oh
It's
shit!
a
No,
mobile
I'll
game.
definitely play the game. Whatever. Anyways,
On that note,
oh shit! What do I usually say? Thank you for listening to
another episode.
another episode of Hotline Hangout. We'll see you next week. Oh no, wait, we're gonna go bi-weekly. Bi-weekly, but we have other things in store for you, and we will
If you have any ideas, let us know.
tell us what you think about the new set. But we will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.